Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to show you how I do my own dip nails at home. I bought one of these Revel nail kits around Christmas time, and I've been obsessed with doing my own nails ever since. Here, I'm just showing you all the tools I will be using. I will be using the Revel nail kit, the 3 different polishes that come in the kit, and because my nails are pretty short, I also decided to use nail extensions. The tips I'm using in this video are from Sally's Beauty Supply because I just wanted them right away, but you can definitely order some off of Amazon. And this glue I also picked up at Sally's Beauty Supply. I think it was like $1. I'm lining up the size of the nail tips with my nail, making sure that there's no gap and the plastic piece fits my nails perfectly. You don't want it to be too big or too small. This is what we end up with, very long nails. So I'm going to take my nail clippers and I'm just going to trim the nail to whatever length I want. You can see that I'm trimming from the left and the right side because the whole nail wouldn't fit in the clippers. And one hand is done. I like to always turn my hand around and just get a glimpse of the length of the nail from underneath, just to make sure one isn't ridiculously long than the rest. And you'll see me repeat this step on the other hand. Anytime I apply the glue to the tips, I go ahead and hold it on my nails for a couple of seconds until I feel like it's sturdy enough, and then I let go and move on to the next. You always want to leave your tips a little bit longer rather than shorter because you can always trim them, but you can't really go back and start over unless you take your tips off. Once we have the desired length of our nails, we're gonna go on to hand filing. So in this step, I go over the tip to remove the shine from the plastic, and I also hit the top of my nail to make sure that it kind of starts blending in a little bit more. So the smoother the surface, the easier it will be to work with. And here I'm kind of shaping the nail as well because I like square nails. I kind of hit both sides and I straighten out the tips of the nail as well. And because the handheld file is not enough, we whip out our electric file too. So with this, we're just going to go over the nail again to better transition the tip with our natural nail. So here you just kind of see me blending it together. Once our nails are prepped and once we have a solid base, it's time to pick out our dip color. I was between this pretty like mauve nude shade and this black color. I went with the black because I figured that it would be easier to see on camera. We're gonna take our step 1 of the Revel nail kit, which is our pro base, and we're going to put that base right where the tips connect to our actual nail. I know that some people like to dip their whole nail in a clear base before they start dipping, but I've found that if I just do a very thin layer between where the nail tip and the nail meets, it gives a much nicer look when I go back in later and file. It creates that like nice dome shape, if you know what I'm saying. When I dip my nails, I try to dip them at a 45-degree angle. That just reassures that the powder is being distributed evenly. You can do one nail at a time, or you can do all nails. You just want to make sure that you're dipping your nail before the solution dries. And I know once I tap off my nails, this looks really scary. But we're ready to go in and do the whole nail now. So I apply my pro base to my whole nail, making sure I don't get it completely to the top of my cuticle. I kind of stay away from that because with each dip, we're gonna be repeating this process. And you don't want the pro base to touch your skin because the powder is gonna stick to it and then you have a lot of cleanup to do and it's not gonna look as clean. And this is what we are looking like now. We're gonna go to the next step, which is cleaning up our nails. We're gonna take this brush and we're just going to brush off the excess powder. I like to do this over a piece of paper so that way I'm not wasting the powder and I can just take the paper and sift the powder back into the packaging. Looking back now, this is the first time I've used such a dark color, and the darker colors are definitely not as forgiving as some of the lighter shades of dip powder that I own. You can see every mess up, every detail, you can see everything. So yes, these are not perfect, but I'm perfecting my technique slowly, and they definitely look way better than the initial set of dip nails that I did. Now, step 2 is to go in with your activator. The activator is going to be a solution that hardens the dip powder we just put on. So this is what's going to make your nail plastic. I'm being very generous with this solution. And before we start filing, you want to make sure that this sits on your nails for a couple of minutes until they harden. I like to tap my nails together to make sure they're hard enough before I go in with a hand file. Also, I don't think I recorded this part, but I dipped my nail into the dip powder about 3 times, and then I put on the activator. So each dip just creates another layer of powder, and that's how strong the nail is going to be once we're done. Because we don't want our nails to be chunky, we're gonna take a hand drill or, just a regular hand file. I like the electric drill just because it's less work for me to do, but I'm just sanding down the layers that we did, so that way I have like a nice smooth surface and a nice thin nail. This is very repetitive. You could honestly file for ages if that's what you really want. I'm still pretty new to using this electric file, so you definitely see me get myself a couple times, and as a result, my poor cuticle, I got my cuticle pretty bad and it started bleeding. So don't do that. I find that when I use the drill, I like to use it on the base of the nail so that way it's a smooth transition, and then I like to go in with like a hand file and kind of create that square shape of the nail. And then I go in with my activator again after we've filed to make sure they're nice and hard before we go on to the gel top coat. Let this sit on your nails for a couple of minutes, and then you'll be ready to put on your gel top coat, which I did not record, but it's basically, it looks the same as what I'm doing right here. You guys can see, like, I got myself with the drill there. Poor cuticle. All right, we have applied our gel top coat, and now it's time to treat our cuticles to some cuticle oil. So I'm just putting that at the base of each nail, rubbing that in, washing my hands afterward, and this is the finished product. I know the nails are not perfect, but I think that they look pretty dang good for doing them myself, and I think that I'm just going to get better at it with time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!